Okay. Hi, team. I'm sitting in a real estate office and I just think it's real fun. I have no idea who's gonna walk through that door. And there's a window right there of all the people that are in my class are probably gonna walk through. So the person I sat across in case so I shared this in my stories this morning on my way here, but I'm looking at this I think everybody knows, but I'm in a real estate class right now, and I'm looking at it as an $800 networking event to get my license. And I sat across. I don't want her to know I'm talking about her, so I'm gonna talk kind of quiet. I sat across from a spin instructor who is a spin instructor at two cycle studios and a bar class. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm doing this because I don't make any money in what I'm doing." And I'm like, "I got you. We're gonna be friends. We're gonna be friends." And I have like my Beachbody bag. I'm like super obnoxious. I've got my tea and my I have my shaker cup. I'm like trying not to be too obnoxious, but yeah. So I'm really excited just about the people that I'm going to meet and stuff like that. But all that to say, I want to talk with you guys about vision for each of us creating and making sure we're getting clear on our personal vision and as a team, what we're building, where we're going. Sarah, are you in your new office? Could you show everybody your letterboard? Because I saw a picture of it. Because it's really perfect. Yep. If you aim for nothing, you're sure to hit it. And I saw that when you posted your picture. I didn't even tell you this, that I saw it. But
2021 in a nutshell, right here.
man, so I wanted everyone to see that because I know for pretty much everyone on this team and most people in my life, 2021 was a shit show. It was a doozy. Like there were so many left hooks. We all got knocked on our face in one way or another. And myself included. I will just speak for my own self. I got to this place where I was so overwhelmed with the struggle that it felt in some moments suffocating and like I didn't know if or how I was going to be able to change the way things were going. I had these dreams and objectively I knew I was capable of things and that what I wanted and what the Lord called me to do and serving and helping people. And I knew the business model that we have is amazing. And I knew what to reach for big dreams, but then I felt suffocated by my circumstances. And I will be honest with you guys, there's a point where I started feeling sorry for myself and my circumstances that, well, I just don't have enough help. And I have 70 kids and, those kinds of things. And I didn't know, I allowed myself to stay there for a little bit. So I have recently had a shift in that our life is what we create it to be. And our perspective is what we choose it to be. And we can stay stuck in that place, or we can say, this is a circumstation. That's not a word. Circumstances and situation put together. I'm going to start writing down these words I create. That was really good. These are my circumstances that God's allowed me to be in or a result of my choices. What do I want to do with it? Because the reality is that what we focus on will multiply. And I needed that reminder when I was sitting, in my own stuff. So I wanted to share that with you. What you focus on will multiply. If you make this really hard, it will multiply. If you tell yourself that you're not good enough, you're not going to be good enough. You'll never feel good enough. It's never just going to start one day, you all of a sudden, I'm good enough. If you tell yourself you're not a strong enough leader, you're not going to be a strong enough leader. If you tell yourself that you can't lose the weight, you're not going to lose the weight. If you tell yourself that you're broken, you're going to constantly make choices that reflect you being broken. But the opposite is true. If you say, you know what, I have one life. Our days are numbered. tomorrow's not guaranteed. Next year is not guaranteed. In my obituary, I don't want it to read, I was a very quiet, careful person who played by the rules. That's personally not what I want. Now, I know that all of us are wired differently and are what we want to say. Maybe it's kind of morbid to think that, but what you want your obituary to say is gonna be a little bit different, maybe for all of us. But I want to be someone that creates positive change in everyone that I know. Can anyone else like resonate with that? I want the people around me to be better because I was in their life, and because they saw the light of Jesus through me, and because like that's what I want. And so I have to make decisions in my business based on what the North Star is, the vision that I have for my life, or that God's placed on my life, of what he wants to do through me. Right. And once we all get clarity on that, then we make business decisions to reflect that. So if I feel like, because of I can only speak for myself, please translate this into your life. But if I feel like, because of my story of, going through tragedy as a young kid and losing my dad and almost dying and overcoming physical hardships, and then my health journey with hormone issues and all of these struggles that I had, God brought me through that. And so now I have a passion to really empower people to prevent preventable suffering in a big way. And I really, truly in my heart feel like that's what God wants to do through me to serve other people. I cannot play small in my business and have small business goals, because that would mean that would be a direct reflection for me that I am actually not fulfilling that calling. Does that make sense? Because my business will grow the more people that I help. If my business doesn't grow, that means that I'm not helping people in their health, because I'm not giving them the tools that I know are going to help them. Does that make sense? So this is why the vision part of what you want for your life, and it's not going to be the same as mine. And this is where you have to do some praying about it and get clarity on, what does the best version of Sarah look and feel like? What is the best version of Krista, of Joni, of Brooke, of Jamie, Marissa? What is the best version of you? Failure's off the table 5 to 10 years from now. What are you doing? Where's your confidence level? What do your relationships look like? What does your impact and your influence look like? Because we all have influence. How bright is your light shining? Like when we grew up in Sunday school and it was like, hide it under a bush. Oh no. How many of you are maybe hiding your light under a bush right now because you're worried about fill in the blank, what other people think? It's overwhelming. You don't know how to shine your light. You don't really feel like your light is worthy to be seen by other people. There's other lights that are better than yours. Comparison, right? Don't hide your light. Let it shine. Here's the beautiful thing about our business, you guys. Every single person that we serve is a reflection of how our business is going to grow. The two go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. And once I recognized that, I used to struggle with the whole, I used to struggle with the whole like money making part of the business. Like I felt bad. Like if I have monetary goals, does that mean people, I'm just in it for the money? I'm just trying to sell them something. And I had to get over that and recognize that if I'm not, when I'm serving more people, I will make more of an income. And what do I want to do with that income? Let's talk about that real quick. What is your financial vision for yourself and your family? And I know I can speak to everyone on this call. How is that kingdom driven? My husband and I have been talking about this as we talk about me going into real estate and investing in real estate. And he's got other businesses that I couldn't even explain accurately because I don't understand them right now. But what could we do if we had, I'm just throwing this out there, $1 million or a ranch? how could that grow the kingdom and impact other people? All of a sudden, it becomes not just about you having money in your bank account, it's the impact you're making in families, in your ministry, in generations, the people that, like the churches, the wells that you could dig in Africa. Like Sarah, we've talked about your passion for ministry overseas and like all the different things that you want to do. And we've talked about like how cool would it be to be a philanthropist and be able to have the finances to go minister to those people where it's really needed. But it also could be in our hometown, right? And growing up in California and like the homeless rate. Whatever it is that you were placed on this earth to do, how could God use your financial vision to bring that to fruition? And all of a sudden, if you have any ickiness about like, I don't want to sell anything, it should be a trump card over that because you're serving people, you're earning money from that. And in our business model, you're learning how to 10x what a sales job would be, because this isn't just a sales job, right? We're not just earning commission, our business model, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today, how to earn that residual income and get to that next level so that you can really do something substantial for your family, but also in service and ministry with that money. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen real quick because I want to go over and I want to give you guys some time to fill these out. Hold tight, please. Okay, so if you didn't see these, I'm just going to run through them really quickly. So here, these are all in our team page and our Health Patriot Business Collaboration page in a PDF form for you to print out. And then there's the graphics, the JPEG files in our event page for reference. Okay, so I wrote this morning and I might honestly change a little bit of it because my brain was super tired this morning. But I threw together a team vision and a team mission. So your vision is where you're going, like your vision for your future, what you thinking long-term, and your mission is what you're doing right now about it. Okay. So I think this is kind of jumbled, but our team vision, where I feel like all of our hearts at, a Health Patriot Nation exists to empower families to live healthy, fulfilling, abundant lives, body, mind, and soul, and then teach those families to help more families to grow thriving home businesses based on these principles to support financial abundance, time, and location freedom. And I don't know if that resonates with you, but I think all of us have a passion for helping families. I don't just want to help, and this is personally for me, I don't just want to help women or just want to help men or just want to help nurses or just want to help, I want to help families thrive. Like I want to help the whole family dynamics. I want to help marriages thrive because they're learning self-care, and I want to help and personal growth, right? I want to help kids learn how to eat healthier so that our trend in obesity and childhood obesity and diabetes stops going the way it's going. It's heartbreaking. Or if like 50% of our kids are obese right now. That's crazy, right? Of our kids. How do we can have an impact in that by teaching them the tools that we're learning? And then there is a huge part of fulfillment factor for me to help each one of you, to help each one of your coaches and their coaches and their coaches learn the possibility of being able to build a business from home so they can be present with their families, so they don't miss a soccer game or a ballet recital, so they can move and live wherever they want to live, if that means being more in alignment with their family core values. That freedom, wow, that is something that will get me up early in the morning and make me push through when times are really hard, because I'm focusing on the vision of our team. And I want to teach you those same tools to carry out that vision. And I feel like it's something we all can kind of get behind. And then our mission, how we're doing that, we do this through teaching our signature 5 elements of transformation, educational webinars, team events, and investing in our community. So we kind of talked about this last year, and we had it in some of our webinars, the 5 elements of transformation, which we are going to have in our new coach university so that every single coach learns that. But that's how we are changing people's lives is through that comprehensive approach. It's not just a workout. It's not just a diet. It's not just these pills you're taking. It's not just mindset. It's all of it and the community. That's what we're doing. That's what's shifting families and having that generational impact. And then teaching, the business side of things through the webinars that we do, and having our team events and community events, such as, our workouts that we're doing Monday through Friday early morning. It was so fun to see everyone this morning, and our Saturday morning workouts and the different fun team things that we're doing. So I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to kind of write out what your personal vision is for your business, and then what you're doing about it in your mission. We'll spend a couple minutes here. I'll give you probably like 3 minutes, just because I do want to walk through some of these things. So you can absolutely rewrite this later. You can, change it. You're not locked into anything, but what really speaks to your heart, just like let your heart be open in what you feel your calling is, and why are you here? And why are you choosing to do it? Why are you choosing to partner with our team? Why are you choosing to partner with Beachbody? Do you really believe in it? Those kinds of things. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to try and play some music and let you guys do some writing.
Yeah, isn't it amazing how a man can find himself alone, calling to the darkness for an answer that he's never known. Yeah, isn't it amazing how God can take a broken man, yeah, let him find a fortune, let him run it with his own two hands. And he climbs on up the hill, on a rock on which he stands. He looks back at the crowd, he looks down at his hands, and he says, I am a difference maker. Oh, I am a difference maker. Oh, I am the only one that speaks to him. I am the friendliest of friends of God. Yeah, isn't it amazing how a man can find himself alone, calling to the darkness for an answer that he's never known. Yeah, isn't it amazing how God can take a broken man, yeah, let him find a fortune, let him ruin it with his own two hands. Walks on up the hill to the rock on which he stands. He looks back at the crowd, he looks down at his hands, and he says, I am the difference maker. Oh, I am the difference maker. Oh, I am the only one that speaks to you. I am the friendliest of friends of God.
Okay. Again, you can totally revisit this. We're going to go one step deeper. I have to share my screen again. Hold on. And I'm sharing my screen. If you have it printed, you can pull out this one. And this is the vision planner. So we're gonna first look at, so once we get clarity on like who we want to be as a person, what our vision is, what our vision is for our life, our business, all that, we're kind of diving a little bit deeper into why, what our core values are. So we're talking about who we need to become. And then next, we're going to talk about what we need to do to get there, because that's really all you need to know to be successful in anything. Who do you need to become, and what do you need to do to get there? Most people's mistake, myself included in this, most people only focus on, well, I just want to know, what do I need to do? Just tell me what I need to do. A lot of people will tell me that. Just tell me what I need to do. In a weight loss plan, just tell me what I need to do. Brooke, you are like so much inspiration to all of us. And what shifted for you this year that you shared with us is actually who you've become, right? It's like what has shifted for you isn't necessarily because you got a different tracking system. It's not the what that changed, it's the who you became that that automatically shifted what you were doing. And I know for our business it's the same. Who we become will automatically shift what we do, because when our vision is so strong, why we're showing up is so important to us. We don't miss things. We don't put our business on the back burner. We don't not show up when it's hard, because it's so ingrained into who we are. Now, let me tell you that you don't have to be where I'm at and this being so ingrained in alignment with what I want, who I am, like to my core. That it, I want to make sure, like if you're someone who's newer in this business and you're like, I'm just not there yet, like I want to help some friends and that's kind of it, that's 100% okay, because that's how I started. I've been doing this almost 6 years now, and it's become more and more and more ingrained in who I am, because I've experienced transformation that it can have for someone's life. So my reason for showing up is, my belief is so much stronger than when I first started, when I was like, Beachbody, really? And sometimes it is that, it's a progression. But if you find that this is in alignment with who you want to become, that's where a lot of these things kind of come to fruition. So next, I would love, we're going to take a few minutes. If you don't have this printed out, just write it on a notebook. Really, so our core purpose is kind of the same verbiage as your vision, your mission, like why you're doing this. Why, again, why are you on this call? Or why are you watching the recording? Or why are you part of our team page? Or why are you part of our team? Why are you even doing Beachbody's approach to health and fitness? And why do you even want to share it with other people? Your core purpose. Get clear on that if you're not. And it will always come down to something non-monetary. Even if money helps, is going to help pay for your kids' college tuition, it's that vision of doing that act that is motivating you. It's not just having $1 million, right? So we are going to, I'd love for you guys to kind of write out as an individual, what are some of your core values? These are things that are very important to you, you will not compromise on. And then who's counting on you and your vision coming to fruition? So my kids. Who's counting on me being the best version of myself? My husband. Because what happens to my marriage if I neglect my own self-care and I become self-sabotaging and I am not happy in my own skin and I get super depressed and what happens to my marriage? That's going to suffer, and I'm going to blame, and I'm going to look to external, like, what's wrong? He's not. Most of you know, I've been divorced before at a young age. And that is what happened in my first marriage. Was my first husband really lost sight of who he was and his identity, and his way of making sense of it all was blaming our marriage. I'm not happy. You gained weight, so I'm not attracted to you. Those are the words that were told to me. Thankfully, at that point in my life, I was grounded enough in my faith. I mean, it freaking hurt, don't get me wrong, but I knew that wasn't I knew that there was more going on. I'll put it that way. So who's counting on you and your vision being successful? Who's it going to affect if you're not? And then we kind of already wrote out your North Star goal. We're not going to go over all this because I want you guys to be able to do some of this with more time. But I would like you to, so do these top two, your core values, who's counting on you, and then move down to the bottom of what's your 1-year goal and your 5-year goal. This is specific to business. What is your 1-year goal and your 5-year goal? So we're going to spend a little bit of time writing these out. I'm going to give you 7 minutes. We'll check in at 5 minutes. Let's go there. And then we're going to move on because I want to cover the road to elite and how it plays into all of this. So let me play this music and then I will move it back over here.
I am on the fence about nearly everything I've seen, and I have felt the fire get put out by too much gasoline. We're all strangers passing through a place in time. Afternoon, life is but a vision in a window that we're peeking through. Helpless conversation with a man who says he cares a lot. It's a passive confrontation about who might throw a punch or not. We are all transgressors, we're all sinners, we're all astronauts. So if you're beating death, then raise your hand, but shut up if you're not. 'Cause I am a difference maker. Oh, I am only one who speaks to him. And I am friendliest of friends of God. I am a difference maker. Oh, I am only one who speaks to him.
Just in case this might help, if any of you are struggling with identifying your core values, think about what do you make life decisions based on. Recently, I've gotten clarity on I'm making decisions based on my relationship and my reflection of who God is. And number 2, is it going to grow the kingdom? If I make my decisions based on those 2 things as core values, I know every decision I make is in alignment with that and I can feel good about it, even if it's a real estate class, right? So that's a defining characteristic that's really helpful of what are your core values.
I don't believe in fairy tales. I guess I've outgrown them. But that doesn't mean that I don't believe that there's something bigger than me. 'Cause I've seen in a hospital room when the doctor said sorry, there's nothing more we can do. Well, it wasn't through. I've never seen a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But I've got a promise I can hold in the middle of the struggle. God, if you said you perform, may not be how I want you to. But here's what I'll do. I'm gonna wait on you. I'm gonna wait on you. I tasted your goodness. I'm trusting your promise. I'm gonna wait on you. Yes, I'm gonna wait on you. I tasted your goodness.
there's so much more time that I know is needed to really process through these, but I wanted to at least create this space for us to start now. Because otherwise in life, it's very easy to be like, oh, I love that worksheet. That's such a good idea. And then lose it. And I only know that because I do it all the time. I create them and then I don't do them. Are these helpful for you guys at all? I'm writing some of these out. Okay. I would love for you guys, eventually I'm going to create an album in our collaboration page for each of us to upload these, because there's something powerful about writing it and saying it to yourself, but then sharing it with other people, sharing it with the team. If you're bold enough, share it publicly and say, hey, this is where I'm going. This is what I'm doing. Because I don't know if you guys have heard this, but I've heard like no one wants to follow a leader who doesn't know where they're going. Then we're all just lost together. No one wants to follow someone who doesn't know where they're going. So there's something powerful in a business when you have confidence and clarity on where you're going, what you're doing, and why it's important to you. So we've done a lot on vision. Here is, sorry, I'm going backwards a little bit. This is the other one we're going to go over. So I really liked this because now that you know big picture, some big picture clarity on why you're doing what you're doing, where you want to go, we have to break this down into tangible bites of what do we need to do to get there? Who do we need to become? What do we need to do to get there? So as specific to Beachbody, Liz told me this the other day when we had a business call. She said, and I've shared this with some of you, she said, now that she's been working for 5+ years in business consulting, where people pay her a substantial amount of money to be their business and branding coach, that people take for granted how incredible of a luxury business model Beachbody is, because there's no overhead. Like literally, you have no risk, which is why people don't take it seriously, because why would we? We don't have much invested in it, right? Well, we have, through the Road to Elite, which I will be honest with you guys, I didn't know what it was until probably 3 years into my business, maybe like 2 or 3 years. And it took me so long to understand it. I like it because it is a very good representation of what a solid business growth looks like versus just celebrating sales, for lack of a better term, from hitting Success Club. Success Club is great, getting at least 3 people, but I will tell you this, signing 3 people up a month, every single month, is not going to grow you a very big business. It's just not. If you just do that, that was going to stay minimum growth for you. There's more leadership development required to build a big business. And so if that is in alignment with where you're wanting to go, with the impact you're wanting to have, and I don't want you to limit yourself here. So if you're having some hesitation on, oh, like, who am I? I don't know anything about business. Like, why would someone want to be, I don't know how to help someone be successful as a coach. Whatever that negative self-talk is in your head, I want you to just breathe through it and let it go. And just like pretend that doesn't exist right now. Imagine yourself the CEO of a $200 million. Those are big goals. So, okay. $200,000 a year team. Even if that's not your goal, like imagine that is you. What does it feel like? Who are you? What are the things that you're doing? There's confidence that comes with that, right? And so these are the steps to get you more towards that end of building a big team. Bigger, successful team, I'll put it that way. Team builder, team leader, premier, and elite. So I love this because you can write down some of the characteristics of who do I need to become. So some of you need to become more knowledgeable in marketing in general. And that's not just a Beachbody thing, that's a business thing. That's in any brick and mortar business. You need to know how to market your product. Maybe you need to learn more about the products. Maybe you need to learn more about how to share about coaching. Write down who you need to become. Maybe confidence is a thing for you. Maybe what are the things that are holding you back? Write out the opposite of those. Okay. And then there's a place to put your business goals, your monthly action steps. So maybe that is signing up, it's going to be so different for everybody depending on what your goals are, but 5 new challengers a month and 3 new coaches a month in order to accomplish your big goals. Let me move over. This would be so much easier if you guys have these all in front of you. I just added this as a graphic. Okay, so these are the 2022 elite qualifications. And it's kind of hard to read this font. Can you guys see it okay? Or is it kind of hard? I wonder if I can. Okay. Again, I added this in the event page. I will be adding it to that PDF that is in our team page, but it's not there right now. So these are, elite is the end of the pathway. Okay. So in order to be an elite coach this year, you need to become a 5-star diamond coach, which is 3 diamonds on one leg, 2 diamonds on the other, and you are a diamond yourself. Rank advanced 2 diamonds, which if any of you became 5-star, you will have automatically rank advanced at least 2 diamonds. A total of 105 leadership points, which we'll talk about. And then it gets into volume and, you have to be a co-admin or admin of a bot group, which is not a big deal, right? So how do you earn those elite points? It breaks it down here for you, which this becomes really hard to read how I'm sharing it. So this is all in your coach office, just so you guys know when you look into the road to elite. I would recommend you learning this, printing it out, and getting familiar with it as a business owner, because it's going to give you a really great guide to what do I need to make my monthly goals if this is the end of the year goal. If I am aiming for this, what do I need to do to find other business building coaches? Be one yourself first, and then plug into the webinars. We are hosting webinars monthly, and I want some of you to lead those. I won't ask I'm not always going to come to you to say, hey, do you want to run a webinar about coaching? I would love for you to say, I need to do this to grow. Maybe you can ask me, like, can you help me put it together? Or do you have any resources for me? This is an area I need to grow in, because if you want someone to come to you to build a business in the wellness space, how are they going to know based on what you're sharing on social media? That was a big wake up call for me 2 years in my business. I was like, why would anyone come to me? I don't ever talk about it. I don't have any resources about it. And I have no confidence in how I'm going to help them be successful, which is why we created the New Coach University. The whole team, you included, and 10 levels down in your downline will have access to our New Coach Universities that we're running every single month. It's on the third, what do we say? The third Monday of every month. I have it written down. So it's the 17th of this month. The third Monday of every month we start, and it's 2 weeks of simple training that's going to help them be successful. You now have that. So it can't be an excuse anymore that you don't know how to help them be successful, because your team has a resource that you plug them into, and we will have a chat thread for them to be successful. But you do have to invite to coaching and get comfortable with that situation. You will never get comfortable inviting to coaching until you actually do it, and you fail, and you figure out you don't know what you're saying. And so you do a little bit more learning, and then you do it some more. Okay. Rank advanced 2 new personally diamond coaches. What do you need to do to help your coaches be successful? Only you can answer that, but it's going to help having our trainings. These leadership points, it incorporates volume and all of that. So let me just simplify it this way. How do you increase volume in your team? What increases volume? People purchasing products. And then you help your coaches help their customers and their coaches purchase more products, right? This may seem like a really big number, 5,000 on your weak leg, but when you build a team, it's not. It goes back to, I could help 100 people, or I could help 10 people, help 10 people, help 10 people, help 10 people, and then it becomes very quickly 5,000. We will have in the New Coach University training tips and training tools on our products. Right now is an amazing time to talk about our I call it a muscle margarita. I know Brooke calls it a muscle mocktail. You can call it whatever you want. But the combination of energize and hydrate and collagen right now is a very simple thing. Even if someone doesn't want to get a total solution pack, it's a very simple thing to get people started on that they will feel a difference on. And be careful with this because compliance hates me already. But man, quercetin is being talked about a lot in research right now. If you didn't know, look it up. And that's what stains your glasses. Yellow is the quercetin. Okay. It's so powerful for your immune health, specifically with COVID, because it's a zinc, helps zinc upload into the cells. I wrote about it in our team page if you want to, the Health Patriot Nation page, if you want to read about it. Again, careful talking about that publicly, but you could talk about that privately, right? Okay. So be familiar with this, helping your new coaches be successful in the beginning and getting one Success Club point their first full month. So if they sign up in January, their first full month's considered February. And then your coaches that you sign up, helping them hit Success Club, you earn points for that towards Elite. And it all comes down to that duplication. Literally what our business is you help people get set up with products and programs. And then you teach those people how to get other people signed up with their products and programs. The scale to which you do that is dependent on your own goals. I can't set those for you. No one else can set those for you. That's just up to you. It's literally the premise of our whole business model. We make it so complicated, but that's all that it's about. And so like our New Coach University will be teaching you, how do you do that? How do you get people to understand what we do? Marketing on social media, all that is getting people to understand what you're doing so that they learn the power that it could have in their life, and then teaching them to teach other people that. That's literally the basis of everything. And people that are making 6 to 7 figures, that is the basis of it. It literally comes down to that. So after looking at this, then you can fill, I'm going backwards, this out of, okay, so if these are the steps that I want to achieve, what does this look like as far as what are my goals each month? Maybe I want to become a team builder by the first quarter. Then you can map out what does that look like. And this is part of being a business owner. And I'm specifically speaking to people right now who want to actually build a business with this. These are the logistics, but it's why we talked about first, who do you need to become? Because this gets overwhelming. And I'm sure many of you have like, your brain is like, huh? Wait a second, volume and what? And I have to help more people. I don't even know how to help myself, right? Anyone else like getting in your head about this? That's why it's so important to go back to your vision, your North Star. Is this in alignment? If this is in alignment, if you know that you being successful and a premier or an elite coach is actually going to mean that you have helped 50 families in the year of 2022 become healthier, live more fulfilling lives, that their kids are actually having more longevity and their parents are happier because their marriage is better, because they're exercising together, they have more joy in their life, they have a stronger relationship with God because of your involvement in their life, is it worth it to learn this? And to learn how to be good at it? I think so. That is all I have to say to you guys today, but I would love to open it up to hear if you guys have any questions or anything that helped you or anything you're struggling with before we jump off. No one wants to talk to me?
I have a quick question. I love, and I've been working on a lot, all the like core values and vision. So that part I can like really dig. When it gets into, I'm just looking for any tips, like the 1-year goal and 5-year goal.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I was with my life coach, it's like frozen brain. Just, I don't know.
Okay.
So sometimes it feels really nebulous, but I think the more I can understand, like you said, the road to elite steps are like the solid steps,
Mm-hmm.
and looking at those one step at a time. Because I think sometimes I just get frozen, like 5 years, I don't even know what's tangible, what's not.
Totally.
So yeah, like that question of where to start to even kind of develop that bigger goal down there to break down here when I'm like, I just need to show up every day right now is the only goal I can figure out.
Yeah. So what I would say to that is, because I felt the same way and I felt silly, if I would be honest with you. When Liz first asked me that question, I felt really silly saying, really? Like she told me, where do you want to be 5 years from now? Dream really big and failure's off the table. What kind of life would you want? And I felt ridiculous because I didn't know what I wanted. And then I was like, well, this sounds dumb, but like if I could do this and make what I'm making now as a nurse and do it from home, of course I'd want that, but that sounds ridiculous. And she told me, you have no idea what you just stumbled upon. And that conversation is why I'm here today. So I would encourage you to dream as big as your brain and heart will allow you to, even if that means you own a beachfront property in San Diego where you get to run the boardwalk every morning with your kids, or or your sons live right next door, whatever it is that like brings so much joy to your heart. Even if you feel like it's completely impossible, that's what you write down. And then I can help you if that's something like that's your goal and you need to be making $800,000 a year in 5 years. I can help you say, okay, it's not impossible, but this is the standard you would need to level up your business to in order to make that possible. And then if you're like, well, I don't want that right now, then we can adjust what that is. But in order to even get clarity on what you really want, it requires this kind of like processing through, what are my big dreams? Like if failure. So let me ask you this, like, do you know if failure's off the table, what would your life look like if you could have anything?
Me or all of us?
Mhm.
I think first I would think about replacing my husband's, income and job.
Okay.
Since we're starting this year with the reality that last month was probably the worst the worst month in over 10 years, that was like a big wake up call of, well, we better do something.
Right.
So just looking at that first. And then, yeah, I mean, tangibles of being able to pay for college, and all those tangible things right now with the family phase versus the big, dreams.
Okay. So in 5 years from now, if you were able to bring in your husband's income and pay for both of your sons, oh no, one of them's already going to college.
Yeah, by then both, yeah.
By then both, write that number down of what that would be. And this goes for everyone. Like if you have a certain amount of debt that you're in right now and you're like, I want to have all of my debt paid off, what is that number? Because those are helpful for me to know so that I can help you scale your business. Or if I'm not your coach can help you scale your business, or we can have a call together about how to scale it. But I wouldn't limit yourself in the first part. Otherwise, we'll never get real clarity on why you're showing up and why you're doing this, because it's going to get really hard sometimes. Coaching is going to get really hard sometimes. And I want to be able to come back and say, okay, is it worth it to you? Because this is what we're building towards. And this is what defines people who give up and quit and people who actually make that happen. Because the the Liz Hartkeys and the Vito Lafadas who make $1 bajillion with Beachbody, they started no different than where you are at right now. No different. They don't have a magical solution, but they never quit. And they continued to learn and grow and level up. And they became the person who owned a business that was worth that. But if we don't first get clear on why we're doing this, then it's really hard to figure out why we're showing up when it's really hard. That I think I don't know if I just repeated words, but is that helpful a little bit?
Yes, thank you. That's always been my sticking spot of the
Yeah,
day-to-day
I
right
was
now.
continue dreaming and make it a daily practice. It takes practice. Talk to your husband about it. Like, make it a fun date night. Hey, okay, let's really get crazy and think failure's off the table. If we say and write down exactly what we want, and we knew it would be successful, what does that look like? What would we want? And let your imaginations run, because what's the worst that can happen? Like, there's no harm in doing this fun activity. And every single motivational compilation that you will ever listen to on YouTube or from Tony Robbins or from anyone who's extremely successful will tell you this is the most important part. It's not what you do. It's not necessarily the grind. It's always this part, and consistently envisioning it coming to fruition. It's even biblical. Without a vision, the people perish. And we have to remember that, but we don't talk about it very often. I'm going to have to go soon. So any other questions before we go? Okay. I hope this was helpful. Thank you guys for showing up. I'm scarfing down my lunch. I'm going to go learn more about real estate law. All right, you guys have a good day.
Thank you, Jess.